We're good to go. Hi, everybody. It's Leslie Denny calling, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. I hope you're doing well and taking care of yourself, staying healthy, getting lots of rest, doing all the things that we need to do to kind of take care of ourselves, especially during this time. I had a few things to share with you today, and this one little book that I pulled out, I just really love it. It's another one of my Barnes and Noble finds on the tables at Barnes and Noble when we can get to go there again. They always have these wonderful little books all over the place for like $5 or something. And this one is called 1001 Meditations. And let me read to you this little segment, and all of this will become clear. Let me see if I got this right. Okay, here we go. Difficulties, whether in the form of difficult emotions, people, or situations, are like struggling plants. Rather than casting them aside, we must attend to them, trusting in their potential. Water their twisted roots with tears of compassion, bathe their leaves in the light and warmth of unconditional love. Watch as the plant grows, strong and healthy, to bear flowers of beauty and fruits of insight. I loved that, and it reminded me of this plant. This is an orchid, and years ago, not years ago, I just lied. I'm trying to get myself organized here. There we go. All right. Probably last year around Mother's Day, when my mom was in the community that she lived in, we gave her this orchid. Now, I have never been able to grow orchids in my life. I've been given many orchids because they're actually one of my favorite plants. I love orchids. I think they're amazing. And when I would try to reflower them, it just never happened. Well, I took care of this for the time that she was, from Mother's Day to when she passed in October later that year. And it had a cascade of flowers just like this. And she was so proud of it, she would invite people into her room just to come look at her orchid. And I would water it once a week. I would, on one of my trips that I would go over there, we had a designated day that was my orchid watering day. And I would walk in and I would water it, and then I would put it back, and she would leave it alone. And she said, nobody's allowed to touch my orchid that my daughter gave me. She's the only one that's going to take care of it, and everybody else has to just leave it alone, but you can come look at it. And so when she had passed, I knew right then and there that I had to bring this orchid home. By that time, all of the flowers had dropped off, and it was just the stem that was left. So I put it in a corner, and I started studying really hard about orchids, and then started following my intuition of care. And I started watering it a particular way, and just nurtured it along. And then all of a sudden, about 3 months ago, the flower stem appeared. And I was so excited, and it started to grow. And as it grew, then all of a sudden the buds came out to the side. And each time that I would get up in the morning, I would walk out and I would try to nurture it like I'm nurturing it now. And these last little portions of the stem, there's one more bud that's going to probably grow there, but these are the last two main flower buds to go. And this one was a stubborn one. It was really a stubborn one. It just wouldn't flower. So I went in every morning over this last week, and I said, you know, you are so beautiful, and you just have a little bit more of that energetic power to put into those buds. And sure enough, this morning when I walked in, this little guy is starting to open up. I'm sure that one will follow. And it looks very close to the orchid that we gave my mom last Mother's Day here almost a year later. And that nurturing, I think we forget to do for ourselves. It's really easy to nurture a family member, a friend, maybe even your garden in the backyard, maybe You spend time nurturing a pet so that they are happier, more content, or healthier. But we many times forget to nurture ourselves. We forget that we need that affirmation, and we can't always wait around for someone to come at just the right moment to be able to provide that affirmation to us. So the quote that I bring you today comes from Deborah L. Raubel, and she is a psychologist, a self-help psychologist that has done one particular book. I don't have the name of it off the top of my head, but her last name is spelled Roble. And you could probably Google her. Actually, it's Reble, correction. And her first name is spelled Debra, so it's Deborah Rebel. And she has written a book that is a lot about nurturing ourselves and taking care of our hearts and our minds. And her quote is, "Self-compassion is nurturing yourself with all the kindness and love you would shower on someone you cherish." And so when I thought about the sometimes periodic frustrations that I've had with our world transition right now, and not knowing when we're actually going to be able to move back to what would be a normal life, I get real frustrated. So this morning, when I saw that this lovely plant was giving me this gift of opening up these final buds and displaying the best of what it had to give me, I knew it was nurturing me in response to my nurturing it. And I had to stop for a moment and remember that I have that ability to be able to nurture myself. And nurturing yourself sometimes means that you just might dial down, plop down on the sofa and read your favorite book. Maybe just sit in the still of the moment and kind of relax and let your body rest. Maybe it's flipping on your favorite television program that you like to binge watch or tap into once in a while. Or maybe it's joining together with your best friends to do some chair yoga. And that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to join together with some of my very best friends, that's you guys out there, and really embrace this practice today, nurture ourselves. And I'll push our little friend over to the side so that they don't knock into it and somebody decide to start chewing on. So I'll just pop you over. If you get, you know what, give just a second, I'm going to put this away because I can tell somebody's looking at it longingly and ready to try to give his little nurturing, which isn't quite as kind as my nurturing. So there we are. So let's come to a comfortable posture. If you have some favorite music that you like to play, go ahead and turn that on. Maybe keep the volume low and get ready to begin your practice. And if you're using an essential oil or diffusing some essential oils, go ahead and have those handy and maybe rub it on and inhale it so that it lifts you up. And then coming to your seated posture, maybe resting your feet on your block or book that you're using and allowing that chair to give you a full and complete support. Just go ahead and lean back into it. And then close your eyes and begin to kind of tap into the things that maybe need nurturing inside of you today. What needs your nurturing, your loving hand? The hand and the heart that gives so much to others. What is it could use from you in this very moment? And then begin to breathe a little deeper. Exhale a little slower. And notice the sounds that you're hearing. Those things that maybe you want to dial into, whether it's your music or something that you hear going on inside or outside of your home. And then try to let go of all the other things that might be just a distraction to you. And as you're relaxing into that space, feeling your breath moving in and out of your body, maybe just for today, I would offer that your intention might be, I am compassion. Just by expressing that we have the compassionate heart, that we are compassion, gives us this wonderful space of patience. And holding the compassion within your practice. And that means doing what feels good to you so that you celebrate the poses and the practice that are most meaningful to you. Let's draw the hands to the heart center. We're going to work into a variation of cat-cow flow, incorporating the arms. On the inhale, open the arms up, and as you exhale, bring them back in. And if the elbows drop a little bit, that's okay. Just kind of keep working your way in and out through that posture flow. And just feel your breath. And as you move from inhale to exhale, just feel the flow. Nothing that's a struggle to you, just a very gentle flow. And then just one more flow from here. Inhale to open up. Exhale to close. And then with the next inhale, sweep the arms up and exhale into your forward fold. Inhale to flat back and an exhale to forward fold. Inhaling, reach out and up, and exhaling, hands to heart center. We'll do a few more of those. And then as we're moving through these flows, we'll start to add a little bit to it to increase a little bit of intensity. But if that doesn't feel like it's in sync with your compassionate self, then feel free to dial back, because remember, this is your time in your practice. So just do the things that feel best to you today. And just keep working through two more of those seated sun salutations that we love so much. I love these. Just really anchoring our hips to the chair makes a big difference. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhale to your flat back. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. So here's a little bit more intensity. With the inhale, reach the arms up and exhale into your forward fold. When you lengthen to your flat back, draw the arms out to the side. Try not to lift your head to look towards each other. Just keep that head looking down towards the mat, then exhale, forward fold. Then with the next inhale, reach the arms up and exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back with that arm extension if you choose. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, reach out and up. And exhaling, hands to heart. Inhaling, sweep up. And exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, extension. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhaling, hands to heart. We'll do two more of those. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, flat back, arm extension. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. And one more from here. Inhaling, reach. Exhale to your forward fold. Inhaling, flat back, extend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up, and exhaling, hands to heart center. With the next inhale, reach the arms up and hinge forward into your chair. Remember, when we move into our chair posture, we're trying not to round the shoulders forward. Just lift up higher if you feel like you're starting to go into that rounded back. But otherwise, engage through the belly and try to keep that back as lengthened and as flat as you can. And as you extend, just really tighten up through those abdominal muscles. You're doing great. So give me 2 more breaths if you can. If you need to draw out sooner, it's okay. And then with the next inhale, when you're ready, reach the arms up and exhale, hands to the side. So we're going to connect that flow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side. And 2 more. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side. Last one. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, soften those elbows if you need to. Then reach up and draw those arms to the side. Good. Hold on to your chair seat and pull in through your belly. Just kind of feel like you're really drawing in not only through the abdominal muscles, but through the pelvic floor, but you can still breathe here. You're not holding your breath. I tend to kind of hold my breath sometimes, but I want you to really feel comfortable with your breath flow. Then as you lengthen through the spine, go ahead and draw the chin to the chest. Then roll the head over to one side and feel that stretch into the shoulder. Take a deep breath if you need that. And then chin to chest and roll it to the other side. I can feel that stretch to the top of your shoulder, can't you? And then bring the chin to the chest. Lift the head. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, stretch it up. And exhale, arms to the side. 2 more, less if you don't want to do any more. Hinge forward. Then inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side, and work through 1 more flow from there. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhaling, hinge forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms to the side. Wonderful. We're going to be working into our leg extensions. So remember, if it's uncomfortable for you to have your feet on the block, you're welcome to drop those feet down to the mat. If you work from the block, it's going to cause a little bit more abdominal work. And so if you feel it in your low back, drop those feet back down and maybe not extend the legs quite as far. You can hold on to your chair seat. With the inhale, lift up through that one leg, extend it out, then bring the knee up and lower it back down. Woo. Lift up as you alternate to the other side, extend, knee up and down. Inhaling, lift, exhale, extend, inhale, lift, and lower. Then just keep breathing. So I may cue a breath pattern, but if that's not comfortable for you to do, then you're welcome to just breathe however is comfortable for you. We're just going to keep alternating from side to side, and then again, add some intensity. Good. I've been playing with Merlin this morning because he's needed his little workout. And so because of it, I'm his new best friend. And he's just really hanging around with everybody today to try to keep everybody in that compassion mode. Good. So adding intensity as we're working these legs means arms out to the side. So immediately when we do that, you can feel that there's a lot more load taking place into your abdominals. Can you feel that? Good. Now, as you move through that flow, you have the option to then take it even deeper, but I want you to really protect that low back. As you draw the arms up, now you're starting to work much higher load of intensity. So just keep working through that flow. Engage. Notice if you're starting to tighten your jaw or you're holding your breath. You want to try to keep that breath nice and fluid today. You're doing great. We've got one more with each leg, and this is a lot of work, and I know you're working hard. Lift, extend, bring it in and lower. Good. Hands to the tops of your knees. Inhale, lift the chest out and up. Exhale, round the back. Moving into that seated cat-cow flow. Ooh, that felt good, right? Inhaling, open. Exhale. Inhale, lift. And exhale. And one more flow from there. Good. Then bring it back to neutral again. If you're feeling strong and you want to scoot your way to the end of your chair, that's perfectly fine, but make sure you have enough support underneath you so that you don't feel like you're going to wobble or slip off the end of your chair. So we're going to do just the leg extension this time. And I know we're working those quad muscles, very important muscles to try to support the knees, the hips, and any walking that you're doing. So as you extend one leg out, pick out your leg. I washed the bottoms of my feet today so that you wouldn't have a problem there. Let's see. Good. I just got a call on my phone. I'm using my iPhone. So I got a call from one of those little trash callers. They probably don't appreciate being called that, but I'm sure you know what I mean. And as you extend the leg, go ahead and draw the arms up and keep holding on. Good. Just keep holding on here and tighten up through your abdominals. Keep it nice and snug. Good. Take 2 more breaths if you can. If you feel like you're starting to struggle too much, compassionate heart. Remember to nurture yourself. Little bits at a time, you'll always get stronger. And then gently release from there. Good. Opposite leg. Extend, either hold here or draw the arms up, whichever you choose. And I know either way you're choosing, I know you're working hard. So just try to hold on to what you have. And we're going to take 3 more breaths here. And remember, if that's just too many and you need to dial it back, you go for it, because this is your practice. So you need to practice at the rate of intensity that's good for you. And just take 1 more deep inhale. And then exhale, release. Go ahead and massage the tops of your legs. That was great. Good. So now let's get into that calf stretch. We draw the edges of our feet right below the toes to the block, and then just press the heels down and lean forward. And that'll allow those calf muscles to stretch out. Now, I don't know if you remember a couple of practices ago, we did the heel lift. And when we did the heel lift, that actually worked the calf muscles. Then we moved into the stretch. So it was like a dynamic movement. We're going to do that again. Press into the block or your book, lift the heels and contract, and then slowly lower into the stretch. And I'll give you a side view too, because I think sometimes those side views help. So keep doing that. And as I am working here, I've got the edge of my feet here. I'm going to lean forward, drop the heels, then sit up tall and contract through those calf muscles. So it's just a real rocking motion without flinging myself forward and back. So keep doing that. And then, of course, as we always do here in our chair yoga class at Yoga Oceanside, we're going to add a little bit of intensity. And it's all contingent upon how your low back feels. So I really want you to fix into that place of, if you feel like the low back is starting to bother you, dial back a little bit. Inhaling, reach up. Exhale to chair. Good. See that? So now I'm really starting to incorporate some pretty broad arm movement. And again, if that feels uncomfortable, just keep those hands down to your lap or holding on to the edge of your chair. For each time I inhale to lift, heels are up, contraction through the calves. Exhaling, pushing those heels down for the stretch and reaching out. We'll do 4 more of those. Always the caveat is less if you would rather dial back a little bit. Good. And we got 3 more to go. How are your abdominals? How are they doing today? How's your low back feeling? Everything good? Good. And 2 more to go. Just kind of regulate your breath as it feels comfortable for you today. Good. Good. And then release from there. Go ahead and switch those knees from side to side. That was a good job. How does it feel? High five right there. Good. So let's get into that hip stretch again. We love these. You can either park the outside edge of your foot to the block, leaning forward, hang onto your little chair so you don't go tumbling out of it, and or bring that ankle across the opposite leg and just lean into it. Remember, rounding the back, you want to keep from doing that so you don't get any kind of irritation into the low spine. That back is really lengthened, and you might want to even flex the foot that's pulling those toes towards you and pointing out through the heel so you protect your knee, and just lean into it. Good. Now we're going to go ahead and work into a chair combo with this. So as you're drawing the arms to the side, go ahead and sweep those arms out. Do you notice that the stretch just got deeper? Did you feel it when you did that? So that is what happens when we start to go into that arm extension. It's actually engaging the stretch of those muscles a little bit more. So you have a choice of either leaving the hands here or slowly reaching them out. If you feel the stretch that you want, go ahead and lift them up higher if it's comfortable and pull in through that belly. Really engage through that core so you're not feeling any low back tension. It's all in those abdominals. And take one more deep inhale and then exhale, release. Awesome work. Let's switch it to the other side for gosh sakes. You can anchor that foot to the outside edge on the block. You can still do the arm motion too. So if this feels good, hang there. If you're comfortable bringing that ankle up on top of the leg, feel free. And you can notice that I'm tighter here because my knee is sitting up a lot higher, but I'm still okay. And then reach those arms out and just hang on to whatever rate of intensity is best for you. So really check in right now. Remember, just because we're working does not mean that we can't stop to nurture ourselves and have self-compassion. And then take 3 more breaths if you can. Good, and 2 more deep breaths. And 1 more breath. Excellent. And then release from there, drop that foot down and knock those knees from side to side. You did a great job. How does it feel? Okay? Good. All right. So we're going to go right into our standing postures behind us, and then we'll come back to some seated postures after that. So we really did a good job opening up. As you lift, make sure you're in close proximity of your chair and come around to the back. I let you slide on Tuesday without doing heel lifts, but we're back to it today. So go ahead and press into the balls of your feet, lift the heels up, and then slowly lower. Really, again, engage through the abdominals. That'll help steady your body and increase your sense of balance. And just a slow lift and a slow lower. Good. For those that like to kind of push the envelope a little bit and go a little harder, which hopefully is keeping you in compassion, self-compassion and nurturing, you're more than welcome to lift one arm and then lower and then alternate to the other side. Good. If you can lift both arms, that's up to you. If that feels like it's a little unsteady, then stay on the steady side of your practice today. Good. And you're really working those calf muscles today. So we'll do another stretch for those towards the end of class today. So if I forget, remind me, okay? Good. And keep alternating from side to side. We've got 1 more, and I know those ankles, muscles are really working hard right now, as well as the calves. And lift and then lower. Excellent, excellent. You're going to turn to the side. And when you get that side view, I want you to kind of keep your hips nice. Did I say it kinda? Do you remember on Tuesday I was saying that I say kinda too much? It is what it is. As you press into the foot that's closest to your chair, go ahead and lift the outside leg and start leaning forward. Use your chair. for support. We're moving right into a warrior three. Might want to give that standing leg a little bit of a micro bend. And then pull up and in through your abdominals. If you can reach one or both arms out, go for it. Otherwise, you might find that you need to keep your hands close to the chair to give yourself a little balance, and maybe just drop the arms down for a moment. But you're so close to the chair, you can grab back onto it if you feel like you're getting a little wobbly. Good. And then when you start to rise up, try not to second guess what's going to happen. Big surprise, you're going to lift that outside leg, the knee. You've still got your chair to hold on to. So if you need to dial back, go for it. And from here, could you lift one or both arms or no arms? It's up to you. So just find your boundary where you feel best. Keep strong through your abdominals. And then slowly lower back down and face the chair. Whoo! You can say woo-hoo as you start to dial back a little bit. And then step those feet out. If you got to shake a little leg, go for it. And then you're going to turn to the opposite side. Outside leg starts to bring it back. Make sure you're feeling it strong in the core so you don't feel it weak in the back. And then either one or two arms out. I'm going to hold on to my chair today because I'm a little bit wobbly. I think it's the weather. And just hold on. I don't know where you are, but right now I'm in off and on again rain, which is really tough on us Southern Californians because we're pretty weak about the weather. And then as you start to bring it back, yeah, you're going to lift that knee. If you can keep that arm up, great. If you got to drop it down, no worries. Both arms up. It's up to you. Keep engaging through those abdominal muscles so you feel nice and supported. Take one more deep inhale here and exhale, slowly lower and face your chair. Shake it out if you need to. That's right. Looks like a farmer dance there. Good. All right. Taking those feet anchored to the mat. Inhale, reach up, and exhale into your forward fold. Go ahead and step your feet back. Do you remember if you were with us on Tuesday, and I hope you've been able to join us both on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because we changed it up a little bit, and sometimes I reflect on what we were doing on the class before. So I'm really hoping you're able to have a regular schedule with us. You're going to keep the heels down and then bring your weight forward. On this one, remember, I have my backs of my upper arms still, my elbows pressing into the chair so that I feel supported, but I'm getting a deeper stretch through my calves. Can you feel that? Good. And then slowly slide your weight back and then step one foot forward and round the back and roll up. This is the warrior one. Remember, warrior one, we have both heels anchored to the mat. The back heel is not lifted. And from here, whatever leg is forward, we're going to do this again. We did this on Tuesday. Opposite arm reaches up and over. When we do that, we're helping stretch, especially into the hip flexors. Good. And we're going to add one more thing to it, which is a little bit more balance orientation. So remember, this a little addition you don't have to do if you get a little too wobbly. If you need to keep grabbing onto your chair, do so. That's nurturing yourself and having self-compassion. Yeah. And then as you drop the arm down, only if you'd like, clasp the hands behind you and then draw those arms back so that you squeeze into the upper back muscles and you can feel it not only in that little hip flexor group that's on the front of the hip, but also through the chest. Take advantage of taking a really deep breath here. And then release and step forward. Nice. Reach the arms up and release into your forward fold. Stepping those feet back just as far as you like to step them. Pressing the heels, lean in a little bit for that calf stretch. You have so many choices within your practice, probably far more than you do in a lot of other sessions that you might work in. That's what I love about chair yoga. And then bring that weight back and step the opposite foot forward. Bend the knees and round the back and roll it up. Good. And whatever leg is forward, the opposite arm reaches up and over. Good. Keep pressing that back heel in. So if you don't get this far and you're only like here and you can feel the stretch in front of your hip, that's what you care about. Because remember what we say in class all the time, it's not a contest. This is not like the supreme challenge. You know, you're just doing what you can do. And every day is different. I know I feel a little different every day. Some days it's stronger, better. Some days I need a little more nurturing. And then draw the arms back behind you, clasp those hands if you like, and chest expansion. Then take a few deep breaths and really work that heel into them. That actually helps increase that stretch quite a bit. And one more deep inhale, nice and deep. And exhale. And then step it forward, back to your heel lifts. And then we'll come back to the chair, I promise. So as you're slowly lifting and slowly lowering, with the option to lift an arm as you lift and lowering and alternating, or raising both arms at the same time. You go big, you go bold, girls and boys. Good. And again. And then one more time. Good. And then one more time after that. You have worked those ankle muscles beautifully. So let's go ahead and come back to our chair. Keep a hand on the chair so you're safe. Make sure you're feeling the chair. Remember, we talked again on Tuesday about plopping. Plopping is just plopping down in the chair. What we like to do is we like to engage the core and slowly lower so that we're gradually and with muscular support working our way into the chair so we don't take a lot of tension in our low back. And I think you did that great. How do you feel? Get a little water if you need it. Got your water bottle? Go ahead and snag a sip or two. And, or you might have a hot cup of tea. I mean, if you're doing this from your home, which I'm sure you are right now, then you have the option for a much broader perspective of beverages. So help yourself to what feels good to you. All right, let's stretch into the calves again. Edges of your, right at the ball bridge of your foot, base of the toes, drop those heels down and lengthen through that back. Good. We're going to do some arm movements. I don't want you to think about swinging the arm. I want you to think about raising and extending the arm. Good. So inhaling, extend that arm. Exhale, draw it back in. Inhale, extend the opposite. And exhale, draw it back down. Good. Keeping those heels down. Keep alternating from one arm to the other. Good. You're doing great. And just take a moment to listen to your breath. Your breath is just, gosh, to me, it's one of the most beautiful sounds in the world. And then extend and draw it down. And one more time, extend. Keep the heels pressing down, then lift up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extend those arms out to the side. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhaling, hands to heart. Heels are still down. Inhaling, sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Extend those arms out. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. And once again, sweep the arms up. I know you're feeling that stretch in the back of your calves. You're almost there. Extend those arms out, flat back. Release into your forward fold. And then reach the arms up and draw the hands to heart. And just relax yourself into your mat. Good. Into your chair, rather. Slide the hips back. And just rest back into the chair. And take a breath. Dial in to where you are in this very moment. Good. Now let's do a hamstring stretch for both of our legs. As you extend your block out or your big boot, just rest the heel of your foot, whichever leg you want to work with first. and bring those toes towards you. Now, on this stretch, you actually have the option to add a strap if you have one. And as you draw that strap to the end, bring those toes in and then lean forward. Do you feel it in the hamstrings? That gives you a little bit of support. Now, if you feel like you're losing your center of balance, because we can do that even in this position, then, and you're using a strap, hold on to one hand on your chair and just use one hand to hold the strap. And if you need to, just drop the strap all the way and just hold on to the chair, because we're all different and we all have different ranges of strength and balance and where we can go in our stretches. So you just want to get yourself a good stretch. I always call them good stretches because you don't feel like you're fighting it. And if you don't feel like you're fighting it, but you feel that stretch open back your thighs, take more here and notice if you feel it in your low back. And if you do, sit up a little higher and then release from there. Good job. Let's switch it to the other side and then lean into it. If you're already feeling the stretch here, just hold on to your chair. You don't need to go any deeper. If you feel like, I don't quite feel it here and I need a little extra help, then use your strap to bring yourself into the stretch, making your choice of maybe holding on to the chair if you need to. So just let's take about 3 really deep focused breaths here. I'll be quiet for a minute. And then release from there. Good job. So now go ahead and place your strap to the side if you were using that for just a moment. Lock to the side as well. And as you take your feet out, we're sitting more towards the edge of our chair. And always, if that's not comfortable for you and you start to feel a lot of low back stuff, then just go ahead and sit to the back part of your chair for more support, okay? And take these feet wide apart. And then from here, press into the balls of your feet and lift the heels. Now, if you start to get a little cramp here, just drop them right back down, that's fine. Remember our side crunches that we did several weeks ago, actually, I want to say a couple months ago in class. So inhale, reach up, and as you exhale, I'm keeping one arm up, but I'm just crunching into that side body, then lengthening the arms up and crunching to the opposite side. So there's a lot happening on this one here. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, crunch in and bring those rib cages in. Inhale, relax and lift. Exhale, crunch in. This is a lot of stuff that's happening while you're working into this. And it's helping work. You really don't tone one muscle group at a time because there's too many other things that are going on in your body. But this actually does engage your obliques. These are these muscles that strap alongside of your side body that are comprised of a portion of your abdominal structure. So working these can really help support that low back. And try not to twist. I know it's hard, but try not to do any rotation and always feel like you're just going to work at the range that feels best to you. And one more to each side. Can you feel this? I can. And one more crunch. Good. And then reach, release, and draw those feet in and just switch those knees to the side. Give it a little heel dance if you need to. You got a favorite dance move? This is a great time to do it in your chair. Good, 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 good. All right. Let's go ahead and take the strap and we're going to anchor it at the end of one foot. Foot is your choice. And this is the circling of the legs. So you're going to lift and circle it around. And you may have tiny little circles. They may be down here, or they may be broad circles. Just whatever feels right to you, follow that little inner guide saying, yes, that's good for me. I'm just going to do it at this range. And then change the direction that you're circling that leg. Good. And then hold on to it. and bring that leg slowly out to the side. Now I like to wrap up the strap a couple of times on my leg, and I like to hold on to the chair because sometimes I have a tendency that if I don't do that, I start to rotate into it, and I want to keep my chest and my hips facing forward while I get that stretch on the inner thigh. Good. I know it's heavy, so just take one more breath here. And then release. Let's just drop that leg out of the picture, and then we'll go to the other leg. This is the longest strap known to humanity. I know I've said that before. I don't know where I got this strap, but it is so long. And then while you hold on to it, you're going to circle the leg around, first in one direction. It's like so long that it's too long. It's that kind of strap. And then circle it in the opposite direction. But it really comes in handy if you're doing restorative poses because it is so long. So I think it's more along those lines of a restorative strap. Good. And then hold on to it. Wrap your hands up in it a little bit if you need to, and bring that leg out to the side. And if you're like me, you're going to hold on to the edge of your chair. Otherwise, just gain that stretch on the inner thigh. Good. And hang on to it a little bit longer. And then we're going to have a little different stretch that we haven't done, and then release from there. Good. So this stretch, it's called Gomukhasana arms, and I'm going to actually turn around so that you could see me from here. I'm going to come to a kneeling posture. I'm going to take the strap in one hand and bring my hand right behind me and then reach around behind with the opposite. Now, I want to try to keep the head lifted, and I'm working my hands as close together as I can. So when we do these particular arms, what you want to make sure, now here comes the side view, you want to make sure that you don't round the back. You encourage yourself to open up and keep that chest lifted, and try to keep the chin lifted too. When we start to bring the chin into the chest, that can create a lot of neck discomfort. So just doing what feels good to you. When you pull down on the strap, you'll feel the stretch in the tricep muscles. When you pull up on the strap, you'll feel the stretch in the deltoids. So you can take it from one direction and then to the other. Good. Be real gentle with yourself. Remember, we always work with a heart of compassion for our practice. We try to take really good care of ourselves so that the next day we feel even better than the day before. And that can be emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, or all of them. And then release. Good. Switch it to the other side. Arm up and over, other arm behind. Just get your bearings first, and then pull and pull, pull and pull. So again, just kind of pay real close attention if something doesn't feel good to you, and feel free to dial back a little bit. This is the time when you're at home, you can say, I really don't like this, Leslie. I don't want to do this. And you don't have to do it. Good. And then one more time, and then release from there. Good. Go ahead and hold that strap. If it's as long as mine, you're going to want to double it up a little bit. Hold it shoulder width apart. Lift the arms up as high as you can. Good. Then arc over to one side. Good. Notice that it's not just my arms that are moving. I'm actually moving with it so that I feel the stretch through this rib cage, and I'm also trying to lengthen as much as I can on the inside rib cage there. And then lift up and over to the other side very gradually. Oh, that's so great. And then draw it back to center and draw those arms out in front of you. You move into a seated twist. So pull in through the belly and slowly turn in one direction. And notice I'm not going very far, because if I went farther than this, I'd start to feel a lot of discomfort in my low back, and I don't want to. I just want to get an energetic twist. So let's take about 3 breaths in whichever position that you're in. You can breathe through the mouth too if you like. Good, and then slowly turn, step by step, move to the opposite direction. As soon as you hit that spot like I have, that's a good twist, but it's not overbearing, and I'm not struggling to stay here. I'm working a little bit. And just take 3 more breaths. And bring it back to center and release the hands to your lap. Shoulder circles up and around. Yum. That felt good. Now let's work into our seated twist with the leg extension. So taking your strap to the end of your foot, extending it out, holding on to it with the opposite hand, and then just hold on to it in place, and then inhaling, lift the arm, and exhale, draw that arm around until you find the seated twist that feels good to you. And just take a few breaths. And then release from there. Switching it to the opposite side. Just anchor your little foot in there. Make sure you have a good grip. And then inhaling, lift the arm, exhale, turn around into that. And just allow yourself to embrace the pose. It's going to work best for you today. And one more deep inhale. And exhale it out. And then release from there. Good. And then rest your hands back down to your knees and just kind of push the knees from side to side. Good. And then relax yourself back into your seat. Let me get my stuff here. And get comfortable. If you are more comfortable reclining on your mat, feel free to do that. If you'd rather have legs up wall or actually just stay seated in your chair, make sure you feel warm and comfortable. Nurture yourself. Good. And just take a few more moments. You might want to, if you're playing music, turn the music down. You might want to put on some more oil if you're using an essential oil today to complement your practice. You might have a candle burning. There's all kinds of things that we do. Good. And then settle in. Take a deep inhale and blow the air out. That was beautiful. Self-compassion is nurturing yourself with all the kindness and love you would shower on someone you cherish. You should cherish yourself. You are unique. There's no one else like you in this entire world. And when they made you, the mold was broken. There will never be another one of you. And that sets you apart from all of the rest of the universe and yet connects us. In feeling that compassion, self-compassion, begin to reflect on anything that you need nurturing. What do you need to nurture about yourself? Is it thoughts that you've been sending through your mind? Has it been an experience that you couldn't let go of? Or maybe a current experience that's hard to live with? Could it be maybe something that didn't go quite right? And sometimes what we do is fall into a sense of almost admonishment about the fact that it didn't go right. And yet you can nurture yourself with self-compassion and let that all go. Because every moment is a new moment. So take one more deep inhale and then exhale the air out nice and slow. And then draw yourself into that seated posture or that reclining posture, and soften everything that you can. Good. Keep letting go, and when it's time to come back, I will come for you. Take a deep breath. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch, maybe move your fingers and toes. If you're on the mat, reclining, feel free to roll yourself over to one side and then gently push yourself back to an upright seated posture. Good. It's so easy to happen, and we should begin with yourself first. So maybe just for today, start thinking about little things that you could do to nurture yourself on this day. Have more self-compassion than you normally would, and just see how you wake up after a good night's sleep and see how you feel tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. Let's draw the hands to heart center. Lokaha, samestaha, sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy, free, and at peace. Namaste.